This is Josiah Plays Sunless Sea. We made it to Khan's Shadow. Whilst we are here, we will actually... we'll come back. We'll go to Khan's Heart first, and then come back to Khan's Shadow. Alright, we get to pass underneath Ogadai's bridge again. That's always fun. That's always exciting. That's always a good time. That thrilling Ogadai Bridge gameplay. You saw it here first. Well, you might not have, but... Find my contact. Oh, 59%. Khanate is wary of Imperial spies. Go very carefully. You have half the directions you need. The other should be a dead drop on the docks. Succeeded! Mislaid letters. You find your contact in a filthy lodging house behind the tanneries. Ah, we read this before. We read this before. Okay. Let's get that port report. A little bit more suspicion. Attire crew all the way back up to 30. Hire crew all the way back up to 30. Please. And now, that's it. That's all we're doing here. Ogadai's Bridge. Now we go back to Khan's Shadow. And we load up on supplies and a little bit of fuel, just enough to get there and back. Just a little bit of fuel. Like 10 should be enough. Everything else goes into supplies. Good thing I have all this money. Although the money's starting to go fast now that I'm just burning it like this. I was over like 25,000 at one point, not that long ago, and now I'm down to 15,000. Money starting to burn through it. Starting to burn through that money. Just say no to Eater of Names. Eater of Names, just say no. Oh, there's the Eater of Names. Nope. Nope. I mean, I've killed it twice, but he's a motherfucker. And I'm not trying to get into a massive battle right now. So much nope. Thrilling gameplay. Here it is. At least I can make obnoxious sound effects anytime I want. Alright, made it back to the colony. We're about to finish the population off. Population's up to 70. Population's up to 75. Population is up to 80. Which is higher than it needed to be. So now I just need to get my estate up 21 more points. Which I will do by giving up a lot of supplies. What's my estate at now? Let's say 88. I need 12 more. 12 more. Alright. Let's gather some supplies. Got 8. And I think we'll just take one more trip up to Khan's Shadow and back, and then that'll be it. And then after that, we'll just port sit for the last little bit of it. Port sitting! I don't think there'll be a story time this time, though. Definitely avoiding the Eater of Names. Reef of Roses. Alright, I'll grab the Visage Port Report. I'll stop being a hipster. Too cool for port reports. Damn it. Just crashed into the damn dock again. Why do I always do that? This time I don't need to go to Khan's Heart because I don't need more crew. I just need food. Alright. Let's get a little bit more fuel. Just a little bit. And a shitload of supplies. Burning through all my money now. Straight up getting poor at this point. The costs of building a kingdom, I guess. Apparently a kingdom is built on a whole shitload of food. I have 100 supplies. Wow, I've never had that many supplies before. It's a little bit crazy. Just a very little bit of port sitting is all that will be required to finish this bad boy up. There's the Chelinet. But we're not gonna mess with them. There's Eater of Names again. I see you, Eater. You will not consume my name this day, sir. I see a certain lightning of the sea. And we're back. Improve estate, improve estate. Improve estate, keep improving, keep improving, keep it on improving, keep on improving. Just keep on improving. My estate is now sitting solid at 97. I only need 3 more. I can get 1 right here. Oh, we've almost got this. We've almost got this. Got 1 right here. It's up to 98. I just need to port sit like twice. So the only gameplay that's more exciting in this game than sailing from one place to another is port sitting. When you just sit in port doing nothing, waiting for something awaits you to pop up again. This is the true joy and fun of Sunless Sea right here. You're seeing it. Sitting in port, sitting in port, sitting in port, yeah, I'm sitting in port. Hey, here we go. Now we're having fun. About to finish my kingdom, that's all I know. Sitting in port. Gotta love. No, I don't want to lose a crew, though. That I don't want. Because that'll put me underneath half, and being underneath half is very, very bad. There we go. It's up to 99. I got 99 problems with a kingdom ain't one. Up to 99. Let's reduce my terror a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Sitting in port, sitting in port, sitting in port, yeah, I'm sitting in port. Sitting in port, sitting in port, that's why we call it sitting in port. Sitting in port, sitting in port. You're sitting, and it's in port, that's right, you're sitting. And it's in port, that's why we call it sitting in port. Sitting in port, sitting in port. Sitting in port, yeah, I'm sitting in port. I am sitting and it's in port, that's why we call it sitting in port. Singing in port, singing in port. Singing in port, yeah, I'm singing in port. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. It is time to complete the kingdom. Finally. Welcome to my tragic kingdom. Gather supplies. Boom. No. 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 No! I said no, man. I said no. I said no. No. I said a no. I said no. Do you not hear me saying no, game? Am I talking to myself here? When I said no, I was talking to you, game. No. Damn it. That's not the correct thing to occur. It's not the correct thing. It's just not. Oh, for the love of Pete. Who's Pete? Well, I don't know, but someone must love him. There we go. I'm at exactly 10. So if I give those up, I'll be sitting here with 0 supplies. I need to... Keybinds for Zave scumming? No, not that I know of. There's not really keybinds for much of anything in this game. There's very few keybinds, and none of those keybinds relate to saving. Alright, let's just... I need to port sit one more time. Time ashore. I need to port sit one more time. Zaves scumming. Zitting in port, zitting in port, zitting in port, jam, zitting in port, zitting in port, zitting in port, that's why I call it zitting in port. Kinda got tired of singing that. Of zinging that. The Zong of the Z. That's the Zong of the Z. It's the sitting in port song. Come on, Esteval. Give it to me. I want to be done with this thing. This is my other win condition. So the Zong of the Z is one win condition. Just by completing that, I have already won the game. Completing this kingdom is another win condition. By completing it, I win the game. So I'm doubly winning the game. Double win. No, do not load. Do not load. Do not load. Gather supplies. Yes! Now I have 16. I can give my last 10 to the estate. Boom! Empire is up to estate is up to 100. Now... all I need to do to declare myself a nation is create a viceroy. Now, I lost a campaigner, she died. The magician, my magician is not satisfied. He's... whatever the fuck he is. He's prudent. But I do have... the disillusioned doctor. He used to believe in things, and now he's gonna believe in being my fucking viceroy. Yup. He sure is. He sure is. So, install a viceroy, the disillusioned doctor. Now, sadly, that means I'm not going to have a doctor for my ship anymore at all, which is unfortunate. But this game sure have a lot of Z's to catch. I know, right? You'll need someone to rule in your absence. He's a realist now. He might not be the most vigorous governor, but he's loyal. Thank you for your trust. Yes, we must do the best we can, and here I will do the best I can. Thank you. You have changed everything for me, and I will try not to disappoint you. The doctor has become your viceroy. Oh, I gained 5 from that. I could have... oh, I didn't need to do any of that port sitting. I could have just done this, and I would have... well, it doesn't matter. No longer have disillusioned doctor. He's now my viceroy. You know what that means? Boom! Declare yourself a nation. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Now, yeah. When your estate and your population are great enough, you can declare yourself a nation, albeit a minor one, and complete this ambition. You'll need to choose a great power to ally yourself with, or go it alone. Choose this option to see the requirements. Okay. Ooh. That was quite a sound. I can receive an embassy. Any pirate in a hut can raise a flag. You're much more than that now, the governor of a thriving settlement. But to be taken seriously as a nation, you must be formally recognized and make an alliance. Who is your chosen ally? A pact with Khan's Shadow? Okay, that's like the group of pirate anarchists. The Shadow is desperate for allies, but they're mistrustful. If your viceroy is someone who knows their ways, and if you have an introduction from their friends, then they'll work with you. And I have everything I need for that. An accommodation with London I can't do because I don't have enough Admiralty's favor, which is unfortunate because I've had more than enough, but I've spent it all. And you need 100 iron. I can do it with no one, but I need to have 100 population instead of just 81. Or I can do it with the Presbyterian, but I need to have a Searing Enigma. And do a 37% challenge. Well, Khan's Shadow is obviously the way forward. This will end and win the game. Don't think I'm going to bother with... The Empire doesn't like its subjects founding rival nations, but honestly there's not much they can do about it, and the Empire's power is on the wane. If you're incredibly powerful, and if you have enough sway at the Admiralty, perhaps you can persuade them to wink at you. Alright. Well, I guess I'm going to pick Khan's Shadow, but I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to end the game. So I'll just relax in the knowledge that I have completed this, and I can come back here at any time and finish the game that way. Come back here at any time and finish the game, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now let's port sit some more so I can get some free supplies and fuel for my journey. More port sitting. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That port sitting though. Let me update my notes. All I need now, the only thing I have left on my notes is lots of candles for Godfall, Savior's Rocks, and Mangrove College. I just need to do lots of candle stuff. And then I need to do... Doctor's become your viceroy. Completed his masterwork. Made herself at home. Watched her die. Joined the mute exiles. Learned to have dinner with the sage. Okay. So I need to side with USSR El Presidente. They are suckers for rum. I thought they were more into vodka. Also, I think I'd have to go back in time if I wanted to side with the USSR. Catch a snuffer in Port Carnelian. Go to Frostfound. I need an element of dawn, a casket of sapphire. I have the sapphires. I need the 40 units of Stygian ivory. I need to get that element of dawn. I don't remember exactly what I need for that. Varkas. I don't even know what I'm doing next. And now that we're here, let's collect some. It's a Tropico joke. I've never played that. I always thought it seemed like it'd be interesting, but I never actually tried it. Is it good? Is it a good game? Or there's like been multiple Tropico games, right? 9 supplies. Let's get some free fuel. Kingdom goes down to 104. Let's get... Let's just wait and get some more free supplies real quick. Sitting in port, sitting in port. Sitting in port, yes, I'm sitting in port. Sitting in port, sitting in port. That's why I call it sitting in port. Song loses a little something when it's just spoken instead of sung. It loses all of the bad singing, is what it loses. As I casually sit here, really in the grip of this game. I think I'll go down to Varkas and do some Varkas stuff after I get a few more supplies here. Although I really should go back to London. Well, no, because I'm close to Varkas already, so like I might as well. There we go. Now I can leave. Now I can leave. We'll go down to Varkas. I have no doctor. I have no doctor for my ship because I've lost both doctors that I came across. Or all 3 doctors. Made one my viceroy. It's a Lorne fluke, but I don't need another fluke core, so I'm not going to bother with it. Just going to go to Varkas. Give me a hand, Sea. Oh, there's one. Thanks. The Sea of Statues. So Tropico 3 is the pinnacle, huh? I'm not gonna fight that. Port Erdenmez. The mirrored city where light was always the law. Guard at the gate smiles. She remembers you. We'll get a port report while we're here. Walk in the light of me here. The blue-cloaked guard waves you through. Alright, now what do I want to do here? The white-cloaked guard. The fungus carter. Continue your explorations. I'm pretty sure I've talked to these people before. Giant middle finger in the ocean. Nice. Yes. Yes, indeed. Entertainments, the hospital, the guardhouse, the Temple of Mahir. I know I've got... Oh, what about this pilgrimage to Amarati? I need the nurse's approval, the respect of the guard, and the Agnahotri's interest, and the jewel-turbaned youth's invitation, which I got that already. Let's go to the Temple of Mahir. It lies in the sacred district at the center of Varkas. You walk galleried courtyards wreathed with vines and fungal blooms. Long straight roadways crisscross the length and breadth of Varkas, the stone worn by the wheels of carts, and the tread of thousands of slippered feet. Lamplighters constantly check the fuel levels of the sconces and replace wicks. Firekeepers check the coiled spring mechanisms that control the angle of the mirrors. There is much to explore. Where will you go next? Temple of Mahir. It lies in the sacred district at the center of Varkas. The sound of the bells grows louder and more reverberant as you approach. The Temple of Mahir. Wow, there's a lot of stuff to do here. The temple tower pierces through the city's heart, taller than the other 4 towers which stand at each of the cardinal points. Around the temple sprawls the sacred district, vine-covered stone shrines, still ponds glowing with algae and flash-finned carp, priests in white, their wrists heavy with metal chains. There are no mirrors in the Temple of Mahir. The rest of the city has to make do with mirrored light and reflection, but Mahir's most sacred space is filled with hundreds of lamps and lit candles of hard-packed phosphorescent fungus. I can listen to the mantras. I can look at the bas-reliefs. I can do dreams of smoke if I had a dream of smoke, which I don't. I can do something with the Agnihotri if I want to. Sun Seers, I need Scintillac to do that. Now, blue Scintillac, I do have some blue Scintillac, and I do want to sell it. So, and this is the place to do it. The Shrine of Mahir. I also can do this because I have a lamentable relic. So let's do the blue Scintillac thing and get rid of some of my blue Scintillac. Hopefully they'll pay me a lot for it. Oh, they give me outlandish artifacts for it, huh? The priests chatter excitedly. You bargain hard, and by the end of the process, they have to send a junior seer down to the outer treasure chambers. She returns with a gorgeous pectoral of feathers, amber, and carved basalt. From the mountain, she whispers. Oh, and a captivating treasure. Nice. First tower bell is sounded. Let's get rid of some more. Let's offload all of our blue Scintillac except for one piece, which we saved to use in combat. There we go. That's a bunch of treasures and artifacts. I think we might have run out of time, though. Alright, then while we're here, let's try this Shrine of Mahir thing. His stone-carved form is rubbed daily with glowing moss. Perhaps it is guilt which makes you think of placing a lamentable relic amongst the flowers and other offerings. One of the Sun Seers sucks her breath in sharply and glares at your offering as though it is an abomination, but she makes no move to knock it away. We do not eat the flesh of living beings, she hisses angrily. We do not murder or maim. We follow Mahir's tenets of purity and light. She touches you abruptly on the forehead, her fingers hot like a brand. May Mihir forgive you for your sins, as unforgivable as they seem to be. As they seem to me. Oh, alright. So lamentable relics pretty much mean you did something bad. And I gained 30 fragments. Does that mean I have to leave now? I think it means I have to leave now. Yeah, I can't go to any of these. I can go to the inn. An evening after the 5th bell, each Thomas is assigned a room. Let's just save on 10 here real quick. The light is endless and merciless. Will you sleep? All visitors to Varkas are given one night's accommodation in the city's only inn. It is a handsome stone mansion arranged around a pleasantly cool courtyard. Frescoes of city life are painted on the walls. Given how few visitors Varkas hosts, you suspect the inn is more usually used by philandering locals. Evening falls. Or does it? The town's 5 principal mirrors are mounted on coiled spring mechanisms and alter their angles subtly to create the impression of evening. Across the city, the firekeepers throw pinches of colored powder into the lamps, and the quality of light yellows to a softer brightness. So it's only slightly bright at night here, not totally bright. Kitchens. The courtyard. Sleep or don't sleep. I don't know which one to do. Well, let's try the kitchens. The smells of cooking mingle with the fungus rot, but you aren't going to let that put you off your food. 100% chance. The inn's cook makes thick spiced stews of fungus flowers and lotus root, eaten with chunks of boiled cassava and rice imported from inland. But it is the light, hungry fruit grown in the city which makes your mouth water. Tart scented oranges and bruised yellow bananas, pineapples bursting with juice, tender coconuts with the silky white flesh scooped out and sap sweet on the tongue. That sounds good. Do you not eat meat, you ask in wonderment? And the inn's cook calls to Mihir for strength. It is forbidden to eat the flesh of living creatures, he says. Lucky the Varkasi don't fancy the seafaring life. It is night, although there is no darkness in Varkas. Time to sleep. Varkas has 5 mirrored towers. When each has sounded its bell, it is evening. Now I can either sleep or not sleep. Alright, I'll sleep. They're vegans? Burn down and sink this hellhole. The bed is low and wide and draped with cotton sheets stamped with vegetable dye patterns in muted greens and blues. Now I got the dream of smoke thing. You fall into sleep easily despite the bright light, but your dreams are full of whispering, glittering smokes, mirror vapors that coil into reflection-warping shapes. You see your limbs bend, your skin slough, your eyes twist. You wake with your heart pounding, your nostrils are full of the fungal rot smell of Vargas. Your body is as it always was, but somehow that is not as comforting as it should be. The permitted time in Varkas is over. Time to go until next time. Gain 10 terror, and I gain the dream of smoke. A watchful hissing vapor haunts you. Dawn in Varkas. Outsider time in Varkas is strictly rationed. Each morning at dawn, the guard visits the inn to eject any Tamas they find. They are polite, but very definite. Into the dark. Return, the guard tells you, but not yet. With that, they usher you into the darkness beyond the walls. You blink, mirror dazzles from your eyes. It's cold out here. Okay. Not yet, Tamas. Alright, well, it sounds like this calls for some port sitting. Varkasi port sitting. Port sitting, gonna do some port sitting, port sitting, port sitting, love to sit in the port. Port sitting, gots to do some port sitting, port sitting, gots to love sitting in the port. My pages was higher, but now it's gone down because I lost my damn surgeon. While we're report sitting, political satire is one of Tropico's stronger components, and it seems downplayed in 5. I'd say 4 is the best. I do like me some political satire. What is Tropico like? Is it like Civilization? Or is it like SimCity? Or is it like something totally different from both of those? Back to Varkas. Alright. Let's try the white cloaked guard. The suns embroidered on his cloak are picked out with gold thread, and the edge is jeweled with carnelian. Damas! He presses his hands together in greeting, then gives you an anguished look. You look terrible. Are you sick with a terrible outsider's disease? Or is that what your nose is naturally like? Over your protestations, he gives you directions to the hospital. Oh, the medics are all butchers, to be sure, but they walk in the light of Mihir, he adds breezily, and then points out the guardhouse in the vague direction of the Temple of Mihir and a street of bars and gaming houses. We don't want to get a reputation for being inhospitable. He laughs as if he has made a grand joke, and you laugh along weakly. It's essentially a city builder with some light political simulation. Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. Continue your explorations. Alright, so let's go back to the temple and keep doing all the things in the temple that we haven't done yet. So, we did the Blue Scintillac. We did the Shrine of Mihir. We can't do the Sunseers because we don't have a Scintillac, unfortunately. We can do the Agni Hot Tree. Let's do Dreams of Smoke, though, since I got the dreams. They seem like something one of the priests might understand if you had a mind to tell them. The Sun Priest listens to you describe your dream with growing disquiet. Were you not taught to guard yourself when you sleep in a room full of mirrors? He asks, and then curses. Should priests curse in temples? I cannot believe the Tamas are so ignorant. You assure him that you are indeed quite ignorant, and wait patiently for him to finish another more inventive round of cursing. There are dreadful powers in mirrors, is his unhelpful conclusion. He gives you a charm of bloodied snakeskin and scraps of paper written in an angular, unfamiliar script, and tells you to hang it upon the nearest mirror before you sleep. I now have a mirror charm. Dream grey snakeskin and scraps of close-written paper. Alright, so we've done that. Let's do, let's listen to the mantras. In Varkas the sun still shines, calls the Sun Priest in the way of an invocation. Hey, on my kingdom island the sun shines, literally. The assembled temple-goers raise their voices in well-worn reply. In Varkas the sun still shines. The Sun Priest pitches her voice so it echoes off the fire-warmed stones of the temple and reverberates through the tower. Mihir looked away from us and Varkas fell, she intones. Now we light our city like a beacon so Mihir may find us once more. You would hate mirrors too if you were a vegan? Is that right? I was a vegan once, a long time ago. It was difficult. Let me put it that way. It was difficult. I gave up on it. Let's do the bas-reliefs. Every surface of the temple is carved and worked. If you peer closer, the bas-reliefs depict Varkas' fall into the Neath. 87% chance. Succeeded. The bas-reliefs. In the first panel, Mahir is depicted as the sun, beaming rays of thinly hammered gold onto a surface city, both peaceful and prosperous. The 5 towers are carved with loving detail, barely recognizable without the wreaths of fungal flowers and curling vines. In the next panel, Mahir blinks, and the city turns to shards of onyx and jet, slowly crumbling away. Mahir then becomes a broad-shouldered, sorrow-faced man, stalking the false-starred blackness of the Neath in search of his lost city. His eyes are picked out in orange-red carnelian, and seem lit with inner fire. Varkas, as it is now, is conspicuously absent from the carvings, as if the stone carvers could not bear to chip its fallen outlines. Well, that's kind of grim. Welcome. Guard at the mirrored gate smiles. Walk in the light of Mahir. Alright. And finally, at the Temple of Mahir, mantras, bas-reliefs, streams of smoke. Agnihatri is the only one we haven't done. It's an 88% chance. Let's not fuck it up. The Varkasi equivalent of a king, or governor. He is overseeing the rituals and gives you a slanted glance. Succeeded. Gained 1 Veils. Nice. You go to pay your respects, and he is at pains to impress upon you that he is no despot or tyrant prince, but rather rules Varkas with his counselor of sun-seers and fire-keepers. You were a vegetarian for a few years in uni, you shamefully... There's nothing shameful about that. I'm a vegetarian. There's nothing wrong with being a vegetarian. Nothing wrong at all. There's nothing wrong with eating meat, really. I mean, I don't think people that eat meat are, like, bad or anything. I just don't want to at this point in my life. What do you think of Varkas so far, Tomas? He asks, and you know better than to mutter anything but meaningless platitudes in response. He nods as though satisfied, but you catch him giving you a sharp, speculative looks as you wander the temple. It seems you have aroused his interest. The 5th bell has sounded. I now have the Agnihatri's interest of 1, which is good because I needed that for the thing at the end. For this thing. Now I just need the respect of the guard and the dour-faced nurse's approval. So we'll go to the end, but this time we have smoke dreams. Use the mirror charm. Don't sleep. Let's go to the courtyard this time. Cushions are arrayed around the marble fountain in the middle. Musicians pluck their instruments under the shade of the twisted yellow-leafed trees. Their songs are curiously prosaic, the lyrics more like a biographical report than a poetic invention. You listen to a lake dredger's waterlogged, lotus-rooted dirge. You sway to the slow, steady ballad of the fungus collectors, and join in the lamplighters' quick-footed dance which mimics their evening rounds. The evening finishes with the Song of Mahir, which is sung to the accompaniment of stringed instruments and drums and polished glass prisms which split the white light into rainbows in counterpoint to the notes. Well, that sounds cool. It's like a laser light show. They're playing some Pink Floyd. Alright. Memories of Distant Shores, fine. Okay, let's use the mirror charm this time. You hang it upon the mirror by your bedside and hope for quieter dreams. It seems to work. At least you do not remember any particularly vivid dreams when you wake. You retrieve the mirror charm before you wake. Is it your imagination, or does some of the script scribbled on the paper scraps seem slightly blurred? I don't know. That's odd. And then they want me to leave now. Alright, well, it's time for some more, I like to call port sitting. A little more port sitting time. We're going to explore all the options in Varkas before we leave here. A little more port sitting. So would you recommend that I try Tropico 3 or Tropico 4 then? 4 kind of sounds like the best from everything you've said. Burning blue. We'll attempt to calm them. We've had this little event before. Sakrav. That's Farkas backwards. Sakrav. That was strangely quick. Or at least it seemed quick. Alright. So this time we'll talk to the fungus carter. Her cart is piled high with fungal blooms and jars of algae, painstakingly scraped from the surfaces of walls. She stops every few minutes to cough surreptitiously into her dyed cotton scarf and eyes you warily when you approach.
I have to take this load all the way to the sacred district, and the priests don't like it if I'm late.
You inquire politely about her cough, and she looks suddenly terrified.
Me here look down on me,
she mumbles.
Please don't say anything. I have a family to feed.
With that, she grabs the handles of the cart and pulls away at a run. Within a few moments, you have lost sight of her in the crowded pathways. What an odd woman. So not at all is well here in this place. Seems like there's some problems. Alright, we did everything in the temple that we need to do. Let's hold off on the hospital and the guardhouse for a moment. Let's check out entertainments in Vargas. There are bars and gaming houses to the west. Follow the clink of wine glasses and the companionable shouts. There are many available. Mahir is not a Puritan god. The nicer establishments in the city are lit with expensive imported gas and have little blue glowing scintillac statuettes scattered on the shelves. What takes your fancy? I can join a gaming table. I can check out the hour-growing priest, or I can check out the duelists. Gaming table doesn't sound very good. Let's see if we can save scum this. Gaming table. Go. They're playing on an ornate board with pieces of mirrored chips and snakes made of bone. Snakes sound good. The rules are complicated and arcane. They also seem to alter with the positioning of various pieces on the board. The bone snakes are trick pieces and used to stymie your opponent's moves. As such, they are often greeted with hisses of derision when someone dares to put them in play. You manage to acquit yourself reasonably well. At least, you aren't the first one to be knocked out of contention. Your fellow players stand you a cup of tart, ruby-red wine. Gained a memory of distant shores, lost some terror. Alright, let's check out the arguing priests. You saying 5 seems watered down in comparison? Well, watered down doesn't necessarily sound good. They're having a wine-drenched debate at one of the tables in the back. Do you care to listen in?
No, no, no. The initiate shakes her fist at the irate novice. You cannot undermine a heard text with mantras from a remembered one.
Apparently the difference is this. Heard texts were cosmic truths whispered by Mahir himself to the ancient sages. Remembered texts do not claim such illustrious origins and are merely passed down wisdom. The difference might seem trivial to you, but apparently this is a subject of heated theological debate. A few of the other patrons look on indulgently and offer bits of scripture or shouted exhortation. Alright, I got some fragments out of that. Let's check out the duelists. The courtyard is strewn with white sand. The duelists fight with curving, twin-bladed scimitars in each hand. Oh god, just like Drizzt. You could try your luck in an exhibition match. I've got a 90% chance with my iron, so I'm feeling good.
The blades are light and deadly. There is an intent light in your opponent's eyes. You step together and then away, your blades kissing gently before scraping apart in a rasp of steel. Your opponent is going easy on you, but that is what you are here for. An exhibition match is meant to make both parties look good. It's hard to keep your mouth from curving into a sharp grin as your blades clash and chime. You sweat under all the reflected light, and your arms are shaking by the time the arbitrator calls time. Your opponent bows deep, a flick of eyebrows and a flourish of blades, and you do the same. Okay, cool. Well, that was fun. Turn to the city center. Alright, well, let's go to the hospital then. The hospital lies in the shadow of the southern tower. Are you feeling a little fevered? Do you hope to learn medical secrets, or perhaps you just enjoy the moans and flushed faces of the sick and suffering? Oh, look at all the stuff I can do at the hospital. Wow. The Charitable Hospital is a long galleried building divided into a series of curtained wards with their own light sources and mirror series. A dour-faced nurse glances at you expectantly. Which ward are you here to visit? Well, I don't know. I suppose we'll find out which ward I'm here to visit in our next episode. That's going to do it for this one. So, thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Sunless Sea.